in 2023, Some Devil was not played at any full band Dave Matthews Band show. On this European tour alone, it has been played 3 times in that encore. A special song that should be played more, and Europe rightfully is getting it. Will we get it this summer? We'll find out. The D&B post-show stream starts now. What up, what up? It's your boy Conserviz34. So in this video, I'm going to make a pitch or just kind of give my perspective of why I believe Seek Up should be shorter, but can still pack a powerful punch with it being reduced. Now, in this era, any Seek Up is welcomed and it will please the crowd. I'm sure last night, April 19th, I'm recording this on April 20th, 2024, that crowd's face was melted. But I still believe that many times with this band, less is more. But again, I want to just reiterate that people will take Seek Up most shows. This song, Losing the Violin, is a huge challenge, but I believe this band can not only overcome it, but really channel in this current lineup in a better way. And it starts by cutting some stuff and adding some stuff. So Seek Up, this is Mike Nero's video from YouTube. Ainsley Snap also has some videos. I'm going to check some of them out too after my post-show stream tonight that she got from this show. But nonetheless, the opening part really is obviously Dave starts, and then Jeff and Rashawn, they remind me of the Lox or just Jada and Styles P from the Lox, because they've had even more collabs together. They finish each other's bars. They have great chemistry, but I still believe you can take the 8 or so minutes that they play together at the beginning of that and cut it in half. This is 8 minutes into the song. They're getting to that crescendo and that spiritual buildup. And then Dave's going to be like, sometimes I feel like I'm falling. I believe it can be 4 minutes. And when we look at the Roy era of this band in 2000, Live Tracks 3 has 4 minutes of Leroy Moore playing. Yes, there's double as many people kind of really taking the lead here with Jeff and Rashawn, but I still believe they can pack a heavier punch, condensing their 8 minutes into 4 minutes. This is Live Tracks 3. It's night 3 from Hartford Meadows Music Theater in 2000. So this is about 2 minutes in. This is 2.5 minutes in. Roy's slaying it. This is 3 minutes and 45 seconds in. So he's pretty much done, and then Dave's gonna get in at the 4 minute mark. So sometimes I feel like I'm falling. What that does is it still allows for a powerful spiritual intro, but then Dave gets to add those lyrics earlier. That's also going to allow for more time after Dave gets through those verses to get to the well, to get to a first solo or first jam, and then have a second kind of section after that, quicker. But again, with this Milan one, we're 8 minutes and 39 seconds in before we even get to Fall Back Again, versus 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes in from Live Tracks 3, which is one of the best Seek Ups. Obviously, there's some that you could probably rate higher, but I love this Seek Up from Hartford, Connecticut. So let's go back to Milan now, and Dave is going to start his verses. Forget about so he gets to his first kind of forget about the reasons at 10 minutes and 11 seconds in the recording. That's just approaching the 10 minutes of song time at this time. What does that mean? That means that now Buddy is not going to be able to do them epic keys and push them keys like Pusha T did back in the day. This is a children's show. No, just kidding. But anyway, I love when Buddy gets to hit this keys part, but it's 15 minutes in. If you take 4 minutes off of that and cut that initial Rashawn and Jeff intro off, that's about 11 minutes in, we get to Buddy. And what's great about this, people, I want the violin. I love this because what it does is we get a reset and we get the keys giving us a different feeling than the sax and the trumpet slayed at the beginning. And we're getting it at 11 minutes versus 15, 16 minutes in. And then at the 17-minute mark, we get the epic wailing. So we're 17 minutes in, we're getting the epic wailing versus, let's go to live tracks 3 to the epic wailing, and we're going to time that out. So here's the thing. It's 12 minutes into live tracks 3 Seek Up that we get that epic wailing, and that includes a violin solo. So you're getting that much earlier, allowing you more time. If you want to extend it, if you want to keep it shorter, hey, we've had a long couple of nights, let's keep it shorter. Or hey, we have a long couple of nights, let's challenge ourselves and go harder. That's what this band does. When they actually are exhausted, they show their best talent. It's impressive what they'll do after a long run, even though I know they tired on stage, but they give a lot to us as fans. So we would get that epic wailing at 12, 13, 14, like that's better, or at 14, 15 minutes maybe, but we get it earlier. Now, why do we want that earlier? Because it allows us to have a better opening for the band to do something very innovative. And what can be innovated in Seek Up from the past brought to the present? The sax guitar jam. We're going to take a look at this sax guitar jam here from Live Tracks 3. And this is at the 14-minute mark of that actual Seek Up, which is 17 minutes long. So 14 minutes in, we get Leroy Moore and Dave Matthews playing acoustically, noodling on his guitar, jamming out, and it's beauty. Let's listen. Jeff and Dave can absolutely do that. And Jeff does not have to be Leroy. He can do his own jazzmatazz on it in his own style of playing. That would be dope. Then what do? You allow Tim Reynolds to do his awesome tapping and noodling at the end in a more condensed. He doesn't need to do a long solo, but at the end, I love what he does. And let's actually go to listen to what he did at the end of the Seek Up. Here, this is after a little bit of his solo playing, but after that, he has some awesome stuff to end with the rest of the band. Let's listen to that now. So he's doing little things where he's kind of, this percussive stuff on his guitar. I love that at the end of the modern Seek Ups. Sometimes they'll have a solo. I don't think we need a Seek Up full Tim solo for this song. There are plenty of moments Tim can get that electric guitar out and that tone is perfect. But for Seek Up, which has always been more percussive in more space and allowing the bass to have presence, I believe it would be better. And instead of this being a 21-ish minute Seek Up, we could have something closer to 15 minutes If not, maybe you give him 16 minutes, or maybe let's just give him the 17 minutes like Live Tracks 3. But what do we have? We have a shorter condensed intro. Rashawn and Jeff give us some heat at the beginning. We get to the verse quicker. We get Buddy earlier, able to build on that jam. Live Tracks 40, Butch has more time. They actually get that to about 18 plus minutes. And Butch builds on something that is I love what he did in that Live Tracks, right? So you can do that sometimes, or you can have Buddy just have him condensed. But either way, you start Buddy's solo earlier, and that allows you to do whatever you want unique. But I pitch the Roy Dave acoustic percussive sax popping in and out type thing, but Jeff does it in his own way. And instead of a song being 21 minutes with a longer intro that to me can be wrapped up quicker, we have a seek up that is 16, or we'll round up to 17 minutes. I still think a perfect seek up would be 15 minutes. You could even cut some more stuff to get to 15 minutes versus 19, 20, 21 minutes. Less to me is more with this band, and this band is talented regardless of what they do, but adding more acoustic percussive elements while still having electric guitar pop at the end, still having that trumpet at the beginning, adding a unique wave that Leroy Moore actually wanted. That's why he added on Rashawn. Having him at the beginning, but having it more shorter, than allowing him to do even stuff within that pop. Allow him to be with Dave and Jeff and add some trumpet, whatever he wants to do, add some staccato in there. And we have, to me, a better seek up. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the seek ups in this era that are 21 minutes? Would you like them to be shorter? Do you like electric guitar? Do you miss the violin? Actually, move on. They're not adding a violinist right now. Stop crying about it. Either go or don't go. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Peace.
It's your boy ConcertViz34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy ConcertViz34.
Yep, so your boy ConcertViz34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy ConcertViz34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Buongiorno. Shout out Italy. Shout out Dale Matthews. Don't forget to hit that like button. What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Thank you guys for joining the DNB post show stream. So we are done with Italy, back-to-back nights. And when we look at the repeats, we only have 2 repeats from the night before. And those repeats are P&P, which gave us a little bit of fake, and Madman's Eyes. You guys will hear commentary of my opinions on Dave Matthews Band. You will hear commentary on some of the marketing, the promotion. And those are just my opinions. And you guys will hear from fans at these shows. But what I will say about this European tour is they have gone above and beyond to deliver for European fans. The variety of what they're getting, the various eras of the band they are getting. They are giving Europe the most they've ever gotten from a given tour. You could argue, well, hey, when they came in the late 90s and 98, they had a better run of songs. You could argue, I like this era better than that era. But you cannot deny that this band is putting in effort to go even further, to give Europeans a taste of a lot of different things in the same show. And should they go to more than one show and they're going consecutive nights, it doesn't matter what venue it's in, they're getting limited repeats. And the songs they are repeating, in some cases, are very, very good songs. Not that they're, everything's subjective, but they're pretty well liked by every sector of the band. I get Madman's Eyes. There's going to be hardcore. I'm sick of, but, to get Gray Street being a repeat in some shows and get P&P be repeated, but it goes into 2-step tonight. This is arguably the best tour for Europeans, strictly getting a lot of what the band has been doing. They open up with When the World Ends, but to me, the real opener of the show, that's the warm-up, that's the pregame. This show starts with The Stone. Shout out to the pod that Jane likes. I think that was Trish that was doing the camera. They had that live on Instagram. And I was able to see that Stone, and then Rab put Idea of You up, and I think he was live for When the World Ends as well. They give 7 a tour debut, and they bring back number 41. It's a 7-show gap here since they last played it. I believe it may be 6 because they had that. They count the Willie Nelson, or not the Willie Nelson, the Jimmy Buffett one. But look at all of these songs that haven't been played for 5+ shows. Dancing Nancy has not been played for 5 shows. It comes tonight. The Space Between has not been played for 12 shows. It's back. Busted Stuff makes its second European debut. Or second European play of all time. And then you have Spaceman, 7-show gap. Grace is Gone, a tour debut. Best of What's Around, tour debut. Number 41, again, 7-show gap. 7 tour debut. And The Stone has not been played for 8 shows. And that's April 8th was the last time it was played. So a lot of people complain about the band not repeating songs. I mean, repeating too many songs and they don't pull out the catalog. They're playing the catalog. You may look at it from an American perspective and want more, but I'm telling you, these Europeans are going to be obese with how much D&B is feeding them in variety. So we got to give credit there. We're turning a corner in this tour. They're going to be going to the UK next, to London, and you're going to see more Americans at these London shows, and Ireland, and possibly Lisbon, Portugal as well, amongst other stops. Paris, you're going to see Americans in Paris. So we'll see what happens, but I wanted to speak about this. I have been talking about this throughout the tour, and we did see an incident with allegedly Polish fans messing or kind of giving a hard time to someone from America. But overwhelmingly, the people that are not behaving are the Americans. So Richard, who I believe is from, he's Clark _ Kent 9. I believe he's from Pennsylvania. That's what it says on Twitter. But Richard had posted this morning. And it says the following. Let's try to get this in frame for you guys. Give me one moment here. I will move myself. Boom. I'm at the bottom. So he said this morning. This is about the previous show in Milan. Of course, we had to have a row of Americans sitting behind us last night that talked through the entire show, and a special bonus of beer spilled onto my wife's jacket. Hashtag Milan, hashtag DMB 2024. This is unfortunate. I really don't know there's not much we can do other than just point out these things and make it aware of those who are disrespectful. There are plenty of American fans who have been respectful, who have been trying to adjust the culture. You've heard them speak on this show, from Kumi, right? To others that came in early in the tour and recently in the tour. Brittany was here and Brianna was here, and with their loved ones, they are trying to respect the norms and the cultures of European concert etiquette. But we are seeing people push and shove. We are getting reports of, like in this case with Richard, of people not being respectful. And I always say this, DMB has the best fans that I've seen, and they have the absolute worst fans. I mean, you could argue Fish and some other stuff, but like a lot of it, I think the worst thing about DMB fans is you can come to a show with the tattoo that says love and peace, but then they sit behind Richard and they're spilling beers and talking during the show. They can talk, be kind always, no matter, but they're throwing some bows in the pit. And some of it is just the extreme obsession to want to go to shows and want to be there. And I gotta talk to I gotta be seen, but I gotta talk about how much I love the band. Stop talking when the band's talking. Just because there's a pause in between songs does not mean you get to talk to Dave. And I respect the band because they handle a lot of these shenanigans very well of over the top American fans. They do a great job of that. There is some animosity towards some fans, if we're honest, that, how do they afford all these shows? And I think we have to separate fans who go to a bunch of shows. We don't know how they got there. And even if they have the money, that's not the issue, because there's disrespectful fans who don't have a lot of money, and there's fans who have a lot of money that are disrespectful, and there's fans in the middle that are disrespectful, but there's fans that are kind. There are fans that I personally know, they have more money than you would know, but they act kind, they act respectful, they do things, and they may help others and they don't say anything. Right? They may support others and they don't say anything about it. They're just kind. But this is not like the animosity towards people just because they go to every show needs to be separated from the behavior of people. There are people that go to a lot of shows and they're respectful, and there's people that go to a lot of shows and they're absolute jerks. But just because someone is going to every show does not make them, oh, they're like, stop pocket watching. That needs to stop too. If someone can afford to go to Mexico and go to Europe and go to South Africa, that's on them. That's how they do it. You don't know what they do. And some people, listen, oh, they got money. No, some people are able to work from anywhere. Some people have tied in business trips, work trips. Some people are in the entertainment industry and they get to go to different cities DMB happens to be in. But that's the other thing too. I saw some of that on Reddit, and to be fair, the Reddit thread did talk about the bad behavior, but it was some people were just a little jealous and angry because other people can afford. You don't know how they can afford that, but that's none of your business. How they behave is important, and that's what the focus should be about. And that's that. We need to talk more about that because a lot of people are envious. And listen, I can't go to a lot of shows, but I'm blessed to go to 4 or 5 shows a year, if not a little bit more. Right. And I know people who go to a lot of shows. A lot of times you think they got money. They really don't. They may have family in a certain market. They may have other ways to save. They may have frequent flyer miles from their job. They transfer over. And so stop hating on people because they got money. If you're upset about someone's behavior, regardless of income, that's a fair point. All right. And I'm sorry, Richard. I know I kind of shared that, but I'm sorry what you went through, and anyone else who's been through that as well. I did joke about this, but obviously, when the world ends, got it. The Men in Black. Pew, the Stone is the opener for me. I don't care where the Stone is in the set list, but when it's at the 2 spot, the Stone is the opener for me. But again, these shows are phenomenal as far as what they're giving. And then Idea of You comes back again, the third Idea of You. Like that's special. And another thing that I like about this is we're not getting bombarded by Jimmy things. So if we do the count, right? Or actually, let me do it by alphabetical so I can see, and then we can look at the count. And let me put myself back. Let's slide over here a little bit so you guys can see it. But let's look at Jimmy Thing. Let's see the Jimmy Thing tracker. Oh, let's do by song. We got to sort by song. And I know Dave is going to play. It's going to say 4 Jimmy Things, guys. Only 4 Jimmy Things. And again, this is a tour where we're not going to have a 2-night stand, a real 2-night stand, until we get to London Town coming up. And that's it. And then we go to other stuff, right? So the fact that there's only 4 Jimmy Things is incredible. And I love that they're not playing it as much. And again, Dave, that's his joint. He has the right to play it whenever he wants to play it. Let me turn this off. The Sixers, I think they lost. I'm a Sixers fan, and my dad's a Knicks fan, but neither here nor there. I'm actually like, I don't even watch NBA regular season that anymore. It's just, there's no point. And it just, I don't know. It doesn't. Same with the NHL. I kind of wait till the playoffs. But Jimmy Thing getting the most. Let's look at the song counter as well, just to see where we're at. And again, this does not dictate how good a show is for the fans there, but it's always interesting to see these trends. Madman's and Looking for a Vein are at the top. So Much to Say, Too Much, When the World Ends, Gray Street, Bridge, Virginia in the Rain, Break Free are at 6. Isn't that beautiful? Break Free is in the top 3, is the 3rd most played song. It's tied for 3rd, but 6 Break Frees. That's awesome. And if you like Virginia in the Rain, you get 6 of those. If you like When the World Ends, you get that. People like that. They played it on 420, and I think that's why people think they played it. They played When the World Ends, We're Gonna Light Up One, then they did the Stone. Pretty brilliant set list playing. If that was intentional, I believe it was. That's great. And again, I love this. And this is not just about my personal taste. It's just the fact that there's something different going on with this tour. There are 3 Don't Drink the Waters. In a previous year, it would have been probably one of the top played songs. We have just as many Some Devils as we do Don't Drink the Waters. Every Day has come back. Again, not my favorite, but it is a favorite of many people. And in these times where so much is going on in the world, to have 3 everydays in Europe specifically, which is very close to the conflicts that obviously it's at the edge, or kind of Europe is part of, as far as Ukraine, what's going on there, and some instability in other countries. To have that type of song there, but 3 plays that hasn't been played in a while. 3 Ocean and the Butterfly, 3 Idea View. We have just as many Oceans and Idea Views as we do Jimmy Things. I mean, Don't Drink the Waters, right? Because there's been 4 Jimmy Things. Crashin' to me has been played 3 times. I think that's what's cool about how they don't play Crashin' to me that much anymore, is when it comes back, it's special. And if it is played more this year, I'm fine with that. But they haven't beaten that song down in this current era. And it's probably because Dave is sick of it. There may be something there I'm missing as an article why he doesn't play it as much. Or I think he may have, the song, the real meaning of the song is kind of, yeah. But as that's how some Dave songs are. But I love this, and I love they're covering their catalog. Again, they have free reign. I'm not saying they have to. I'm not saying they have to not cover, but I love the idea that they're giving these European fans a lot of their catalog. We have no covers today, folks. No covers. 0. That is beautiful. Cover even songs I don't like. I love when they cover their stuff. I know they're going to pay tribute to people. I know they're going to feel a cover that inspires them. Heck, when I used to do open mics, spoken word poetry with guitar, I would cover Dave's songs. I would cover other songs of other acts. I would add in an interpolation of a Roots song into my poem because I love the Roots too. So I get, it is what it is. But I think when you have the catalog Dave has, when you have the hits that they have, and you're in Europe, I think they're doing a great job. They're throwing in cover. And listen, they love Watchtower. They love, so when they play those are hitting at these shows from what people are telling me that have been to these shows. But I love this. This tour is phenomenal for what it's doing to feed the needs of the fan base in Europe. And this tour isn't necessarily an indicator of what's going to come in the summer, but the fact that they are playing as many songs here is something that's good to see. We still don't know what we're going to get this summer. We don't know. The first month, they may try stuff. They may tone it that we don't know. They may add more cup. We don't know. But always keep that in mind. I will keep saying it nonstop. Don't look at these shows like you do an American show in Saratoga Springs. It's not the same. The fans they are catering to, even though there are Americans here, even though some international fans did find a way to get to America, which was impressive in 2021 and even in 2022, 2023, it's a different world and things started to open up. But some fans literally did everything and risked having to stay here longer if they tested positive for the 19 just to get to one show or 2 shows. XL from the DMB remasters had a crazy process to get over here. I believe that was last year from Italy or 2 years ago. I can't remember, or maybe both, but I know he did everything possible to get over here. So I don't have any guests. If you know people, I think for these next couple of shows will be covered. Libsyn, Portugal. If anyone knows anyone in Libsyn, that would be great. I know for like the UK, and I believe in Paris too, there's probably someone going, but for the UK shows, but again, if you want to come on even, or you want to send me a video, I will love to get as many perspectives as possible, and I will talk less like this, and I will play what you guys are saying, which has been the focus of this thing. I did. The next thing we need to talk about is right here. Let me switch the graphic over, and I made a joke about it, but there it is. I'm calling the encore. First of all, this encore, Some Devil PNP two-step. What an encore, first and foremost. But I said PNP not going into Rapunzel. Don't call it a pump fake or a fake. Call it a Euro two-step. Ooh, I saw it on the couch tour, and that was cold, man, in a good way. That was bad. That was a nice way to get us. That boop boop, did that Luca, pulled that Luca, then working on the fundamental fake outs to get the buckets. It just was it's a very, very cool thing. Now, we had a show in 2018. This is the last time PNP went into sun outside of Rapunzel, and it was Lion Our Graves. That was in Philadelphia, South Philly Sports Complex, Wells Fargo Center, with my Flyers, who were eliminated from the playoffs, and my Sixers, who just lost game 1 to play. That was an awesome moment back in 2018, the fall of 2018. It was a winter, it may have been billed as a winter tour, but that was still the fall. So if we go back to that show in 2018, 12/11/2018. Oh no, I guess, is that winter? Or is winter the 21st? I think it's still fall. But you had that thing here where they did PMPs, Lion Our Graves, and then after that, Burning Down the House, which, by the way, speaking of covers, I'd rather have no covers, but if they're going to bring covers to the thing, Burning Down the House is one that I have not gotten sick of, because I've only heard it like once or twice. So if they gonna cover, do that. But no covers. Cover your songs. Cover Some Devil. The whole album. Free Dodo. Free full band Dodo. Never been played at a full band show. Only Dave and Friends and Dave and Tim. And maybe Dave solo as well. But I love that PNP fake. So shout out to that. What else do we have? So all things are focused towards American Idol tomorrow between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees should be announced. I've always said DMB should be in, but I've always said, listen, this is a private collective that can do what they want. It is a private museum. It is not a publicly funded museum. It is a country club in many sense of the word, where the board of the country club votes for things. They can exclude you if they want to. But if they get in, it'll be good. Great moment. If they don't get in, we can continue to push, but do it respectfully. Don't, just like the negative, the word on the street of how the fan base is. They look at the negatives, which are there. You can't deny that there aren't bad Dave Matthews Band fans. Oh, we all love. No, we don't. We're not all kind to each other. There's no fan base. There's some that are close. I love Milwaukeeans, but they're still bad Milwaukee fans. There's been some Marquette fans in the comments. One of the parents of a kid at Marquette was hating on UConn. We didn't even say nothing to Marquette. I actually love that Marquette's good in our conference, and I think they were from Wisconsin too. But like the parent was all like yelling, "Oh, they got lucky, this, that." They deleted their comment before UConn won the second championship. So there's always, every fan base culture has bad apples. Same thing with religion and politics. Like people are like, "Oh my gosh, there is so mean." Yeah, there's always going to be someone who's mean or rude or inappropriate or takes advantage of people in every facet of human life. That's why we're human. But I do hope they get in. But if they don't, guys, move on. The best way to push this power is if they don't get in, is listen, continue to do the fan vote, continue to represent this band, continue to go to shows and let the numbers speak for themselves. But ultimately, that's not what the end all be all is. The shiny plaque at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The end all be all is we show our appreciation for the band. We show up. One thing I love is sharing the recordings that I have from shows that I record in the multicam, sharing other people's videos to promote this band, sharing when a live tracks comes out on streaming, say, hey guys, go check that out. Whether you're a DMB fan or not doesn't hurt you if you're already paying for streaming. That's what matters. I went to a show last night. You guys may not know who Richard Smallwood is, but he is one of the foundations of gospel music. When you look at anything from the 80s to present, Richard Smallwood is the godfather. And you know what was cool about this show that translates past being a fan of gospel music like I am, and going to church and being a Christian? There was a gentleman who was in charge of the music and arrangements of The Wiz on Broadway. He just opened up the show on Wednesday, I think it was. He left New York City. He left Broadway on a play he literally just helped the musical arrangements get revamped for 21st century Broadway showing, because it was there previously decades ago. He left to come to New Haven, Connecticut, where I was last night, to play a sick piano solo in tribute of the 75-year-old man who is the godfather of modern gospel, Richard Smallwood, of recent gospel of the last 60 years or 50 years or so, whatever you want to say. He left his Broadway play. There was an opera singer, a tenor, who left. He got permission to leave the Met to come up to New Haven, Connecticut to pay tribute last night to Richard Smallwood. And Richard Smallwood is in a wheelchair. He was sitting in the front row and he was in tears because all these people moved their professions, put their careers on the line to be in that building by any means necessary. These are people who are powerful in their industry. They are some of the most talented musicians in the world at what they do. Producers, composers, arrangers, singers, vocalists. They all made it to New Haven, Connecticut, and some of them are going to be at Howard University, and I think it's later this month or next month, because this man has impacted people's lives. The other thing is this, and I'm saying all this because this is what Dave Matthews Band music does. It impacts so many people. That's what it's not. If the Rock Hall does not give them, if they never get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, my hope is that they will have, just like Willie Nelson had his 80th birthday, that they will get their flowers while they're alive from other people. But Anna Grace, I believe Marquez is her name, she passed away during the Sandy Hook tragedy. Her parents went to my church. Actually, the funeral was at my church. for this young girl is heartbreaking. I couldn't go. But her mother asked our, at the time, Minister of Music to play a Richard Smallwood song at the funeral. And so I went to the special thing on Friday, but on Thursday he had a master class. And Richard Smallwood looked a Sandy Hook mother who lost her daughter in the Sandy Hook massacre. They had eye contact, and she was talking to him directly and said, "When I lost all hope after my daughter died, your music got me through it." I hope that Dave Matthews is able to have, when he's 75, 85, whenever he is getting to a point where, hey, he doesn't know how much longer he's going to play. Carter Beauford, same thing. Bigger than the Rock Hall, better than the Rock Hall stage. If he can have a weekend celebration where he's having a master class at University of Virginia or somewhere, and fans are telling him what he's done, and then the next day he has a performance where all these musicians, John Mayer, Rick from Goose, all these people that are now superstars or legends, say, "Hey, I want to take these 5 minutes and tell you what you mean to me. And here, I'm going to play one of your songs that saved my life. Got me to be sober." The Rock Hall will be a special moment, but I'm telling you, from what Willie Nelson has gotten, from what I saw with Richard Smallwood and last year at Yale, this is all from Yale and New Haven that I went to, and they booked College Street Music Hall. But it's going to be much more impactful to DMB if they can have their flowers by their fans, by their peers who are still alive in 20 years. I hope everyone in the band, or 10 years or 15 years, if Carter's 80 years old, that we can go up to him, or legends can say, "Hey, we want to play this DMB song in dedication to what this band has meant to music." That's going to be more impactful than this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech. And seeing it, being in the room last night, and seeing the parts of the Willie Nelson celebration at the Hollywood Bowl, that's more important than the Rock Hall. But again, I hope they get in. I hope they get in. But that's how I feel. And hopefully, actually, no, we will. For London, stay tuned. We're going to get reaction from London, from Ireland, the Dublin show, and hopefully with Paris, Lips in Portugal, we can get some people on as well. Message me at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We will get people on for London and Ireland, but I want to get people for the rest of the shows. And then I'll be at the first show in Tampa for the opening summer tour show, even though it's technically spring. It's your boy Conserviz34. Thank you guys for watching. Poster was the same as last night. It did say Dave Matthews Band, not Dale Matthews Band. We got trolled by Methane. Stay tuned. We'll cover Sunday. I don't know if I'll have a video that night, but we'll definitely have some coverage on that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announcement. But either way, if anyone in the band is watching and saying, "Man, Conserviz, criticize, seek up," just know your impact to humanity, to us as fans, to the musicians who are at the top of the charts now or have been in the last couple of years, last decades. Dave Matthews Band, Dave Matthews, Carter Beauford, Stefan Lessard, Leroy Moore, Butch Taylor, Boyd Tinsley, Stefan Lessard, Jeff Coffin. I say Carter Beauford, Buddy Strong, all you guys, Tim Reynolds, everyone who has been a part of this band in some way or another touring has meant so much. Win, lose, or, well, they don't draw, but I'll tell you this, DMB has drawn well over the years. And that's their legacy, what they've meant to everyone. All right, thank you guys. We're going to end this video finally. Peace.
find a vein or something. Hammering these walls and hoping to find my way.
The 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame fan voting closed on April 15th, 2024, with Dave Matthews Band leading in the fan vote with nearly 600,000 votes, having a clear margin of votes ahead of Peter Frampton and Foreigner, which each had under 540,000 votes when the voting ended. In 2020, Dave Matthews Band also led the fan vote, eventually becoming the first act in the voting era to be first in the public vote, but not be included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Understandably, many fans have doubts that 2024 will play out any differently for the band, given the fact that ballot votes by music industry powers that be weighs much more in the process than the single ballot vote obtained by a group when they lead the fan ballot voting. Two voters in a Variety article didn't seem to want to give D&B a vote, despite understanding the impact they have had on the music industry, and it angered many D&B fans. But the backlash from that, and this being the second time D&B was voted #1 in the fan vote, could help them push to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Since the pandemic, public backlash online has been a means to push through change in many ways. We have seen public figures almost immediately apologize or walk back comments when the online public disagrees with something they did or said. Corporations have also done swift 180s in their marketing promotion based on the public not being pleased by something they released. In the event that Dave Matthews Band does make the cut this year, we should celebrate this honor. It will be a special stage for the band to be celebrated. In the event they do not get in, it is not the end-all be-all for the band's lasting legacy. The impact of this band spans multiple generations and has already made a mark on this world. Many of their elder peers respect the band and the band members. James Brown and Stevie Wonder went out of their way to be on stage with the band. The Rolling Stones and Grateful Dead tapped on the band to open for them. And when the late Neil Peart needed a talented drummer to be on one of his drumming DVDs, he looked no further than the great Carter Beauford. Artists from the early 2000s to present have also credited their identity in music to listening to or seeing Dave Matthews Band. As fans, it is important, should D&B not get in again, we do not belittle or disparage other acts that will be inducted. It is important that we not let the country club of ballot voters make us bitter or angry. Instead, like the band did in 2020, we should carry ourselves with class. That doesn't mean we can't continue to promote our love of the band, nor does it mean we won't be able to rally for them in a future fan voting year. We can surely do that. But reacting in a way some fans did in 2020 with vitriol and anger will only reinforce the negative stereotypes people have of this fan base. Win or lose, this band was represented by its fans yet again when they had every right to not vote and give up. The rest is now up to the Rock Hall and the ballot voters. It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Peace.
Oh, people, they were open wide, marbled in shadows and light. When your soul